Hello friends. So we already have finished two chapter of unit 3, and today now we are going to start your new chapter, that is third chapter of your unit 3, employee moral. So guys, as you can see over here that this is a very small chapter and we will discuss this chapter today in this lecture. So guys, let's start the chapter with the basic introduction, that what is employee moral. There are many problems the study of which help there are many problems, the study of which helps in improving the efficiency of workers. One of such problem is moral. High moral of worker is desirable, while low moral is undesirable and must be avoided. Moral is a state of mind. High moral can be described in the following words. It is pleasant to work in my company. My company is the first class company. It is difficult to actually define moral. As Yoder has said, if workers appear to feel enthusiastic, optimistic, and friendly to each other, they are described to having good and high moral. If they seem dissatisfied, irritated, restless, and pessimistic, they are described as evidence of poor or low moral. In short, moral is enthusiasm and willingness to work. So, guys, here you can clearly understand that what the moral exactly is. Moral is employees' readiness to work in a factory or a company or an organization at whatever the level is. So, guys, moral means employee is happy to work in an organization. Employee is quite satisfied to do the work. Employee is enthusiastic, and uh, each and every company wants their employees to be to have the high moral. Now, guys, we will see the definition of the moral. Though it is difficult to define moral, we examine some of the definitions of moral given by eminent authors. Dr. Georgia Terry, moral is a mental and emotional condition which persons have in connection with an enterprise. So, guys, here we can clearly understand that what an employee thinks about its enterprise, whether he is in a good emotional and mental attachment with the organization or not. And here we do have the second the definition of the moral, that is Michael J. Jusius says moral is a state of mind and spirit affecting willingness to work, which in turn affects organizational and individual objectives. Moral may range from very high to very low. It is not an absolute, but it is subject to change depending upon management's plan and practices. So here, guys, we have seen two different definitions. The one is from George R. Terry and the other is from Michael J. Jusius. So, guys, now we will move further to see other definitions. Filippo writes, moral is a mental condition or attitude of the individual and group which determines their willingness to cooperate. So, guys, through the moral, we can know that how an employee is ready or willing to do the work in an organization. Now, we will move further and see Blackmanship writes, moral is a feeling of togetherness. There is a sense of identification with an interest in the elements of one's job, working condition, fellow workers, supervisors, employers of the company and the company. So, guys, here we again see the definition of moral in a different way by the Blackmanship. So, guys, here we have seen four different definitions of employees' moral. Now we will see the characteristics of moral. So, from the above definition, following features of the moral can be derived. It is a state of mind. First of all, moral is a state of mind. It is associated with loyalty to the organization, sense of cooperation with other employees. Second, moral is said to be high when employees are satisfied and find pleasure in their work. When it is low, the workers are dissatisfied. Third, moral cannot be measured directly. It can be guided from the productivity, labor turnover, etc. And the fourth characteristics of the moral is it is a subjective feeling of employees. It is a feeling of belonging so dominating that the worker places the group's interest above his own. So, guys, here we have seen the characteristics of the moral and clearly understand that moral is nothing but it is a state of mind. It is an attitude of employees toward the organization or the business unit. So, guys, moral means how the employee think about the work of the organization, how the employees think about his job. Whether employee is satisfied, then he must have a good moral or he must have a high moral. But if employee is not satisfied with his work, then his moral is quite low or the poor. Now, guys, we will move further to see the importance of the moral. High moral leads to high productivity and benefits the organization immensely. Not only that, the workers get higher wages due to higher productivity and their standard of living rises. In a war, Moral of warriors play a very important role in winning the war. High moral results in success, while low moral ideas leads to defeat. The same is true about business also. As McFarland has put it, high moral exists when employees' attitude are favorable towards their job, their company, and their fellow workers, favorable to the total situation of the group and to attainment of its objectives. Now, Michael Juice is right. In case of good moral, the employees work for the company first and then get reward. In case of poor moral, the employees want assurance of pay first and then the work is rendered. Moral develops out of a mutual satisfaction of interest. In the case of employees, they understand that to gain their goals, they must help the company achieve its goal. And employees must also believe that the share they get is fair in relation to what they and others contribute. If the interest of all parties to a group efforts are in their minds fairly served, their moral will be high. So, guys, when an employee thinks that whatever the contribution he has made to the organization, he has got enough payment in return, then he must be have a high moral. But if an employee thinks that he get only less, or we can say he does not get enough salary compared to the work he do for an organization, then he must not have a good moral. So, guys, we will see above the importance of the benefits of high moral uses, right? To management, there is higher output of better products at lower cost, and in turn, there will be more consistent, higher profits. To employees, there are higher wages, more secure employment, and higher standard of living. And society in general, there are more goods and services obtained more effectively from the limited supply of resources. To put them in detail, the benefits of high moral are follows. Now, guys, we will see the benefits of high morals. So, when a moral of employee is high, what benefits will get the organization? So, let's see. It helps in getting willing cooperation of workers in achieving company's goal. Workers' cooperation is not obtained by simply demanding cooperation. Supervision is reduced. The workers having high moral themselves put in their best efforts. So there will not be needed much supervision. Then the wage cost per unit is reduced as the productivity rises, where moral is high among workers. It is possible to reach the production target in required time. Then high moral leads to decline in number of complaints. High moral is result of warm and satisfactory relation, and their relations are good, complaints are bound to remain low. And fifth benefit is high moral helps to reduce labor turnover, abstentionism, indiscipline, etc. To industrial worker with high moral means the worker who is contented and who has sense of cooperation. The workers work with satisfaction and pleasure. For them, it is good to be at work and in association with one's fellows and one's superiors. Work is a pleasure and not a misery. So, guys, based on the given explanation and based on the given points of the benefits of the high moral, we can clearly understand that if an employee has high moral, um, a company or organization will directly get many benefits from him. Now, we will see the third point, that is factors affecting morals. Let's say it one by one. There are a number of factors which affect the level of moral of workers. GCS has divided three factors according to their source as follows: the employees themselves, second, management practices, and the third, extra company forces and factors. So let's see it one by one. Here, guys, we are seeing the factors of the factors affecting morals. So the first one is employees. The level of moral depends upon the types of employee. The ability of employee to understand has a significant effect upon moral. If he is able to understand reasonable argument, the moral remains at high level. If he is able to understand the benefits of the cooperating with the management, his moral will remain high. So here we need to focus on the understanding power of the employees. Now, guys, we will see management practices. Level of moral depends upon the mental attitude of both parties, just as level of moral depends upon the attitude and understanding of employees. Likewise, it also depends on upon the attitude of management. Giving decent wages, implementing welfare schemes, introducing comfortable physical condition in workplace, etc., have significant effect on the level of morals. The behavior of executive is also an important factor. If an executive is autocratic in his attitude towards subordinates, the moral of employees will remain low. So, how the behavior of the we can say how the behavior of an executive is also has the base of the level of the morals of the employees. Now, guys, we will see the third part: extra company factors. Moral is also affected by factors outside the company itself. If the trade unions are powerful and they adopt prejudiced attitude towards the employers, the moral of workers would be low. Besides, the state of employees' health, his domestic atmosphere, his financial position, etc., are some of the other factors which have an important impact on the moral. Now, guys, we will see objective of the enterprise. If the objective of the organization are in tune with employees' personal objective, his moral will be high. Moral develops out of mutual satisfaction of interest. If employees understand that to achieve their own goals, they must help the company to achieve its goal, the moral will be high. As Jesus has said, moral development takes place through the process of successfully integrating interests. So, guys, here we can clearly understand that when the objective of the organization and the objectives of an individual is common, but the moral of doing work is also high of the employees. Now, guys, we will see the next one, that is wages and rewards. Workers accept that they should be paid adequate wages for their efforts. They also expect appreciation and reward for good work they do. In addition to their normal work, not only that they should get adequate wages, but should also feel that they are getting employee feels sorry they are getting good wages and other rewards commensurate with their efforts. When an employee feels that he is fairly compensated for his contribution to the organization's interest, he would develop a favorable attitude of mind and his moral would be high. So, guys, here wages and rewards should also be the effective, or so we can say a major effective factor of the morals. Now we will see the next part, that is physical environment. Favorable environment at workplace is an important factor affecting moral. A well ventilated building, scientific layout of machines, control of temperature, enough lighting, provision for safety, easy availability of required machine tools are all factors favorable to the development of high moral. Because when an employee gets enough facility at work, he must have a high moral. Now we will see the next point, that is job satisfaction. If the worker has got a job of his liking, suited to his skills and ability, he gets high job satisfaction. This will raise his moral. If he lacks interest in his job, he becomes listless and bored. The productivity is reduced. This is due to low moral. So, employee must have job satisfaction. And the next point, that is opportunity for advancement. Particularly for young people, the opportunity for advancement will encourage him to put his best effort in company's work. His moral will remain high. Hence, the management should adopt a personal policy in which every employee gets an opportunity to progress and earn higher wages. So, guys, here as we have seen the factors affecting moral, now we will move further to the next one, that is measures to improve morals. Now, to improve the morals of an employee, what should a company need to do? So, here are some of the instructions, or we can say the suggestions given in this book by which or an organization, or we can say an executive or the supervisor can increase or improve the moral of the employees. So let's see. Once the level of moral is determined, it is not. It is now becomes the responsibility of management to take measures to raise moral. This is necessary as high moral leads to higher productivity, good quality, and less wastages. From the studies so far made, it can be said with certainty that more wages are not only the demand for employees. However, that is one of the most potent factor affecting moral. The following steps may be suggested to improve morale. So, guys, let's see. The first one is good supervisor. So, demand of the employees is to have a good supervisor to have high moral. It is the supervisor or foreman who influences the employees day in and day out. no matter what top levels may be thinking. Hence, the policies of the supervisor become the policies of the company to workers. Hence, the supervisor should be carefully selected and trained in how to deal with workers. Workers want that they should get a good leader. Detailed instructions should be available from him, and necessary guidance and advice should be available from him. Second, security of job. A worker should have security of job and income. He should not be under constant fear of losing his job or uncertainty of income. Otherwise, his moral would be low. Third point is job satisfaction. So, guys, as we already have seen in the factors affecting moral, let's see it again. The work must be distributed among workers in such a way that each worker gets job according to his liking, skill, and ability. Then only he takes lively interest in work and his moral remain high. Next point is recognition. Every worker desires that his good work should be recognized by his boss. He should get credit for his good performance. A few words of appreciation from the boss is enough to boost his morale. Next point is good wages. A good wage structure is essential for workers to remain contented, as it is necessary to maintain a fair standard of living. It should be combined with incentive bonus system so that his good performance is rewarded in terms of money. The wage structure should be comparable with that prevailing in other companies in the same region. So guys, good wages, the policy of good wages should be made to have a high moral of the employees. Now next point is sound promotion policy. The company should have sound promotion policy such that a competent person gets promotion to higher post. This will keep the employees morale at high level. If a young talented worker has no opportunity for advancement, he feels frustrated and his morale will remain at low level. Now the next point is complaint redressal. Whenever a worker has a grievances or a complaint, there should be proper machinery to settle it. The workers should feel that their grievances is settled in a fair and impartial manner. This would avoid dissatisfaction among workers. Next is suggestion. A suggestion scheme must be implemented so that the worker can have sense of participation. He can express his views on company's policies. If there is a good suggestion, it should be properly rewarded and widely recognized. So, guys, you can clearly understand that such kind of things can boost the level of moral of the employees. When he get good supervisor, when he gets security at job, when he has job satisfaction, when he gets satisfaction, means when he does good work, when his performance is well, boss should appreciate his work. When he get good wages, when the sound promotion policy is made, means when an employee knows that if he do well, if he do work well, he will be promoted to the higher post. So then complaint redressal is also there. Now we will see the suggestion. A suggestion scheme must be implemented so that the workers can have a sense of participation. He can express his views on company's policies. If there is a good suggestion, it should be properly rewarded and widely recognized. And ninth point is company information. The company must keep the employees information about the development in the business of the company. Some companies publish bulletins containing latest developments in working of the company. This is circulated among the employees, which will satisfy their ego. Some companies keep bulletin board on which latest developments are displayed. So, in short, the management should always try to take steps to raise the morale of the employees by various means. It must, however, be remembered that raising the morale is a low process. It cannot be raised to a high level out overnight. So, guys, this is what all about the chapter employees morale. Now we will come with the new chapter in a new lecture. Meanwhile, goodbye. Watch the lecture as many times as possible so that you can remember all the points clearly. And you also need to keep reading of the chapters as this is a theory subject. So be attentive and be regular to watch lectures in the YouTube channel. Meanwhile, goodbye.